Lake Center for Spiritual Living. And welcome to all those tuning in on our love stream today. It's already August, but we're ready for it. It's nice that it's a little bit cooler, even it's maybe a little muggy, but not in here. It's great to get some hugs and some little bits of precious conversation. I love it that we can gather here and be with spiritual family. Well, it's a new month with a new theme and new music. We have a great message from the amazing, I'm going to call him Reverend Randy. He probably doesn't want to be called that, but tough. So, because this month we're celebrating our 50th birthday, I guess, as the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living, formerly known as the First Church of Religious Science in Salt Lake. What a journey it's been. I've resurrected some tunes that we used to do way back. So I hope you enjoy listening to these. I'm going to start off with a tune that I just decided to do and didn't give any notes to Rob or Raj. I just scribbled out some charts for the band, and we're going to do two songs for our opening today. The first one we don't have lyrics to, but if you know it, and you may, please sing along with us. We're going to do How Could Anyone Ever Tell You? And then It's in Every One of Us. Yeah. So please sing along.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
1, 2, 3, 1.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us by and by. It's in every one of us to be free. Find yourself, open your eyes and see. We can all know everything without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us here and now.
Yay!
Welcome, everybody.
Yay! Oh my gosh, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think he performed those just for me. Two of my favorite New Thought classics. I just love those. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And good morning, everybody. He was singing those just for you, too. What a wonderful morning this is. I'm so happy that you've joined us here at the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Rob Ekman. I'm your service host this morning, and I'm standing in for Reverend Linda Brewer, who is scheduled for this morning, but she is also scheduled for hip replacement surgery on Tuesday. So please extend your prayers and loving thoughts to Reverend Linda at this time. We are a spiritual community where all are welcome. We welcome you to be part of our live service here in person and also our virtual love streaming community watching from home. Our practitioner holding watch today is Topher Steele. Throughout the service, he will be in prayer with us and for us, knowing that the best and highest good is unfolding as we share this sacred and special time together. Our prayer practitioner this morning is Jim Ferris. Our center is a spiritual community that teaches the philosophy of daily living based on spiritual principles and practices that are really universal among religions. We honor all pathways by which people seek to know and to connect with the divine, and we work on our individual consciousness to help make the world a better place. So now I'd like to invite those who might be visiting with us for the very first time, if you're willing, to raise your hand so that we can acknowledge you and thank you for being here. All right. All us old timers here today. Well, wherever you are and however you're joining us, I'd like to invite you to recommit yourself to our spiritual purpose by saying our purpose statement along with me. We are an open, welcoming community, celebrating our divinity, loving our humanity, and nurturing our journeys of spiritual discovery. Thank you. For all the latest information on what's happening at the center, you can check out our website at www.spirituallyfree.org. On our homepage, you can submit a prayer request, seeing what's happening coming up on different Sundays, watch previous services, and read about the folks who put on this show for you every Sunday. This month's theme is a pause for guidance, and today we will be honored to hear our message from Randy Scott. He will speak on the topic of It's Time for a Tune-Up. Mindy Dillard is our special music this morning, and next week I will be our speaker, talking on a playful pause. Pause. Now beginning today, our center is following some updated CDC guidelines, and I'd like to quickly mention them just for our group clarity. Masks are strongly encouraged when moving around the building and singing. Service participants or anyone playing a role in the service are asked to wear a mask at all times unless it interferes with our ability to perform our duties. There are red and green labels that you all saw and hopefully picked up this morning that say hugs or no hugs. And already this morning, I identified a bunch of huggers that I haven't hugged yet. So this is a great experience for hugging and loving and also respecting and understanding our differences. So these are to help us understand each other's physical interaction definitions. A coffee service will not be suspended at this time. And we hope that we quickly progress through this next level of COVID trouble that the world is experiencing. All right, our center, as Rick says, our center is celebrating our 50th anniversary party, and I'm not sure what to call it sometimes either. It's definitely an anniversary. It was when we chartered 50 years ago as First Church of Religious Science. It's definitely an anniversary, and it's absolutely going to be a party. The last week, Dan, Fondrich, Raj, and I gathered together, and I'd like to thank the people who shared photos with us. We have got the greatest beginnings, fixins, of a slideshow for you to show you some of the fun over the years. The thing that we've discovered is that we have the best pictures from 15 years ago and older, which is really ironic, right? Because these are the photos that are paper and that people have given us in boxes and folders. Yet all of us, and myself included, I have a hunch we all have an awful lot of pictures of ourselves on our phones. Not just those old-fashioned cameras that you have to take down to a photo mat, but actual digital images on a phone, as you know, are so easy to just send on in. So please enrich our video component of this evening. Rick is putting together music, and I have a good feeling that what we just sang is going to be a part of that. And share your photos with us. It's great to see all the people who have come and gone in the distant past. But wouldn't you like to see yourselves too? Yes, I would like to see you. So please send your photos to office.assistant@spirituallyfree.org so that we can get those folded into our digital presentation for you. That night, this will be on August 28th at 6 o'clock at Pavilion Number 1 in the Murray Park, and we will have food. We are providing fixings for sandwiches, and we're asking that you all bring sides or desserts, and we'll have a video presentation, a nice presentation in general, as well as dancing. So please join us. Spread the word that the Big Sky Retreat 2021 is coming up in September. It will be in person at the Big Sky Retreat in Big Sky, Montana. If you've never been to one of these spiritual gatherings with Centers for Spiritual Living, they are amazing. And I can guarantee you that if you take the time to invest and to go, that you will come out refreshed, rejuvenated, and spiritually fabulous. So I encourage you all to please check it out. It's a great time. All right, those are my announcements today. So, our center is founded on and is grounded in prayer. This helps us deal with whatever comes our way and create a positive experience regardless of our situation. Our professional prayer practitioners are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer and are ready to pray for you and with you. Just click on the link on our homepage, send them a request. All of the practitioners will uplift you in prayer this week. And there's a prayer box in the lobby as well, so you can write your prayer request. And if you haven't had a chance to have a prayer with a practitioner, either through the prayer box or through our practitioner wall of prayer midway through our service, take advantage of it. I do every week because it gives me a little boost that I really love and deeply appreciate. All right, now I invite you to settle in and to allow Jim's reading and the centering music to take you to that sacred space within, and Jim will lead us in prayer.
The reading today was adapted from the book 365 Science of Mind, A Year of Daily Wisdom by Ernest Holmes. Today's reading is called Divine Guidance Fulfills Every Worthy Desire. When the dawn breaks and the shadows flee, when the hills are touched with a rosy glow of the sun's first rays, I wake to the thought that I am one with all life. I lift my eyes to the eastern sky and sing with joy of one who beholds the eternal presence in all things. In everything I do, I sense divine presence, sustaining and guiding me. I know that I am not isolated from the all-good. I am one with it. I know that there is a divine pilot steering my boat safely to a harbor of peace, to an environment of happiness, a haven of good. I'm not afraid, even when the billows roll and the wind sweeps by, for there is a divine hand guiding my ship, an invisible presence at the wheel. I lift the sails of my faith and let the winds of love fill them with the mighty power of divine presence. My boat rides upon the sea of pure spirit and finds safe anchorage always. For I am guided by divine intelligence, which goes before me and makes perfect my way. I rise above fear and limitation. Today I exercise dominion over my environment, over each circumstance and condition I encounter. For the joy of life flows into my thought and my work. Peace and harmony attend everything I do. Love and protection are ever present. Today I know that every worthy desire of my heart is fulfilled.
Into the presence would I enter now, for I am surrounded by the love of God. Let me be still and listen to the truth. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Let me remember I am one with God. Peace to all others, they are one with me. Let me remember what my purpose is. Let all the world have love and peace with me. Let all the world have love and peace through me.
I always love it when Mindy comes to play. Our dear Mindy Dillard, a local artist that we are so lucky to have in our midst, and a dear friend of the center, a remarkable vocalist and songwriter with a really adorable family. Let's welcome back the amazing Mindy Dillard.
Hi, everybody. Hi. You're just so nice to me. You're so nice. Well, I brought back another new song for you, this first one. You guys are where I try out all my new songs. Thank you for that. But I always read I always ask Rick, what's the theme? What's the theme? And so I read the theme, and then I think about it, and then it always kind of rises up for me what I should do. So this is one I did write. Last time I was here, I told you that I went up to Stanley, Idaho on like a songwriter retreat. So I wrote it when I was up there. But I was thinking about this idea of like, I don't always appreciate everything in my life, like especially just the little things that I take for granted sometimes. So that's what this song is exploring, is that there are these things, like especially that my husband Craig does for me, that have just become so normal that I forget how wonderful he is and how wonderful it is that he does these things for me just all the time, every day. So this is called Morning Coffee.
part of the story I leave out. You make me coffee every morning. The part of the story I forget to share. It seems so ordinary, so mundane, but you know no other time compares to drinking coffee with my love before our little boys wake up. Soft light streaming through our windows. I know I have enough. I know I have enough. Our love is strong. I have enough to give the world. You put my coffee in that mug we got on our honeymoon. Bryce Canyon, red rocks, and tall hoodoos. Who do you wanna be? Who do you wanna be, my love? Our love is strong. I have enough to give the world. I like my coffee dark and strong with just a little touch of milk. Let's talk about tulips and chamomile. Look how we have grown. Look how we have grown. Our love is strong. I have enough to give the world. The part of the story I leave out. You make me coffee every morning. That part of the story I forget to share, 'cause it seems so ordinary, so mundane, but you know no other time compares to drinking coffee with my love before our little boys get up. Soft light streaming through our windows. I know I have enough. I know I have enough. Our love is strong. I have enough to give the world. Our love is strong. I have enough to give the world. Our love is strong. I have enough to give the world.
Thank you.
Oh, Mindy, thank you. That's beautiful. I also know Mindy as Princess Fearless. She has a secret superhero side life where she sings and reads with children about empowerment. And sometimes we're lucky to see her husband Craig playing his big bass fiddle. Thank you very much. All right, everyone, it is my great honor to introduce our speaker today. Randall H. Scott is an author, mentor, and speaker. Through challenges in his life, he has opened himself to the divine, realizing that there's a moving force in the universe that is happy to provide assistance and direction. His power for the fusion of science and spirituality led him to found Zenpowerment, his company, which helps executives create high-performance teams through new perspective. Randy has also authored the book, Empowerment, Your Path to Peace, Power, and Purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Randy Scott.
Good morning, my friends. You know that song that Mindy was singing about coffee, she's grateful. But how many people are we grateful that people make coffee for? Because without it, they might not be the same. And I don't know about you, Mindy. You always seem just happy and joyful. But I know people that without their coffee, we're all grateful that somebody makes it for them.
You don't see me all the time.
Well, we're thankful for your husband then. Today, it's an interesting topic. And I've kind of had a little bit of struggle with it. Normally, I like to start with a story. And the topic today is time for a tune-up. Now, when you think of the word tune-up, what do you think of? Cars, yeah. So today's theme is going to be really a lot with an analogy around cars. The topic for the month is awesome, a pause for guidance. how often do we take this pause for guidance? Now, I'm like heavily dependent on a GPS, right? If it's a good thing I know where the bathroom is in the morning, otherwise I'd need my GPS. But say, for example, you're taking a trip, it's a long trip, you've never been there before, and you can just plug it into your GPS, and all of a sudden, it tells you where to go. It tells you to turn, it tells you what exit to take. You're always being told what to do. And in life, it's not like that. In life, we get to pause for guidance. We get to stop and listen. Now, if we think of a tune-up, right, for tuning up your cars, how many of us are just getting by? How many of us are fixing our lives with duct tape and WD-40? Right? If it moves and it's not supposed to, you duct tape it. If it's not moving and it's supposed to, you WD-40 it. Right? I think sometimes we do that. We look for the quick fix. So, if we think of us being divine beings, when we think of us being divine beings, what does that mean to us? We're not our thoughts, we're not our emotions, we're not our bodies and our brains and our stories. We're this divine observer experiencing life. So if you think about it, so I'm driving a 1966 Randy Scott. That's what I get to cruise around with during this life. It's not who I am, but it's a really fun vehicle. And I've had a few bumps and scars and, along the way. But for the most part, this is original equipment. I was born with these hands. So if we look at our bodies as a vehicle, that's part of the tune-up. Now, cars have all kinds of warning lights, right? You have like a check engine, you have a oil, you have tire pressure, you have all these warning signs that tell you something needs attention with our car. So the question that I would ask is, what are the warning signs that we have in our life that maybe point to the need for a tune-up? Right? Linda's going to get a tune-up on Tuesday with her hip surgery, right? That's pretty major tune-up. It's not just like an oil change, but she gets a tune-up because there was a warning sign. So if we look at our lives and say, okay, how am I feeling physically? Are there any warning lights? How am I feeling mentally, spiritually, emotionally? What are the warning signs that come up for us? Right? Maybe a hike that we went on a year ago is a lot more difficult now. Maybe we can't even do the hike. And so what are these warning signs that help us? Now, also, I believe there are false warning signs. Has anybody ever had a warning sign on their car come up for blinker fluid? Hope not. If so, I've got some stuff to sell you. There are so many things that we think we need to take and pay attention to, but they're not real, right? The fear of what other people think. Sometimes when we compare ourselves to someone else and we think that we need to make a change, when we're divine as we are, and if we'll just pause for guidance inside, because each one of us is unique, each one of us is perfect, complete, and whole as we are. So as we look at these warning signs, for me, the best way that I can evaluate what needs to be tuned up is to tune in. Right? Are we tuning in? So if we use a car analogy, oil makes the car run smoother. It creates that lubrication so that the car runs smoother. For me, the things that help me and my life run smoother, an example would be a daily ritual. So every morning I choose to have daily habits that are like a mini tune-up to get my day started. So some of those things could be meditation, prayer, gratitude, an act of service, reading to fill your mind. So there are all these different things that we can do to make our life run smoother. Also, when you tune up a car, normally they'll fill the fluids. Windshield wiper fluid is one of those things that they put in so that we can see better. What are those things in our lives that will help us see better? As we go inside, as we pause for guidance, does that allow us to see the world better and to see ourselves better? Another thing that they do when you, by the way, I know hardly anything about cars. I actually had to Google tune-up, right? I know where the gas goes. I know when the oil light comes on, it gets to be, I don't know a ton about cars. So if I was saying something that's complete bunk, cool. So another thing that they do is spark plugs, right? They'll clean or replace the spark plugs because that provides fire to the engine. And so I would ask ourselves, what are those things that fire us up? What are those things that excite us? Are we doing enough of that in our daily lives? Another thing that they look at are the oil filters and the air filters because they get clogged up, and that clogging up affects the performance of the vehicle. What are those things in our lives that are clogging us up? Guilt, shame, fear? Do we need to do some shadow work? Do we get to let go of things that are no longer serving us today? And then the last thing that I do know about is gas. You put good gas in, you get good performance. Are we fueling our bodies? Are we fueling our minds? Are we fueling our spirits and our emotions in empowering ways? And so the question is, in order to do this, are we listening? Are we pausing? Are we looking for guidance? One of the habits that I picked up years ago is tapping on my heart whenever I'm going to make a decision or whenever I'm looking for something. And it's just a friendly reminder to get out of my head and really get down into my knowing. Because we can read all day. There are a bazillion different opinions on a bazillion different subjects, and we could attach to any of them. But what's true for us? What does our internal guidance system say for us? Because we have the knowing. Just like in the song that was sung previously. Now, the cool thing is it's easier to make small changes, like a tune-up, than to have to replace the whole engine, right? There's a principle called the slight edge principle. There's a book by Jeff Olson, and the concept is they're easy to do, but they're also easy not to do. However, if we choose to do them on a daily basis, they compound. Their power becomes greater and greater over time. And so as we choose to take these tiny little habits and do them on a daily basis, then we become more and more powerful as we move forward. And the interesting thing is there is always a price to pay. Right? If I never replace the oil in my engine, there's a good chance eventually I get to replace the engine. However, if I replace the oil, then the engine would last longer. It's the same thing, for example, with my health. if I choose to eat well and exercise on a regular basis, the long-term effects of my health will reap that benefit. If I choose not to, eventually I will pay the price with my health. So there's always a price to pay. So do we want to make small price now or a greater price longer? Now the cool thing about this principle is it takes very small things. For example, if you read 20 pages in a book a day, in a year, you could read 30 books. If you chose to save $10 a day, that's $3,650 in a year. So all these little small things can add up to be something significant. Another example of small changes is the 1% rule. So many times we think, I want to get from here to here, and man, I don't even know how I can do that. But if we chose to change something, improve something, 1% a day, in a year, that's a 37 times increase, just with 1% a day. There's a quote from Ernest Holmes in The Thing Called Use that says, "Whatever you identify yourself with, you will become like. Whatever you resist until you make it a reality, you will also become like." So what do we choose to identify with? Who do we choose to identify with? I would suggest that as we look inside, that we identify with our higher self. It's so easy at times to run these programs, right? We've got so many programs running. A lot of them are really powerful. A lot of them are pretty disempowering as well. Any of these programs that come from fear are disempowering. And most of these were created before we were 8 years old. So how do we identify with our higher self? What do we get to do? So say, for example, if you like Twinkies, my lower self is going to want the whole box of Twinkies, right? It's just going to go for it. The higher self might not even want Twinkies, but it might also say, let's go for one. Something that I've learned, so I've done a lot of life hacking, and I mentioned this, I think, 1 or 2 talks ago, is I've been doing 500 calories a day, and just to check it out and see what it does to my body. And one of the rules of thumb that I have adopted during this practice is asking myself, is this for my body or is this for my tongue? Right? And so if it's for my body, yeah, go for it. If it's for my tongue, well, you don't need a whole box of Twinkies to know how a Twinkie tastes. So it's just a good rule of thumb. Also, as we look at alignment with our higher self, are we aligned in our thoughts, our words, and our deeds? Do we talk to ourself in our mind the way our higher self would? Do we see that infinite beauty that each of us are? In all the time that has existed, there will never be and never has been someone like you. You are the expert in being you. Why would you listen to anybody else? Sure, someone could have some guidance, but in the meditation that Selena did this morning, she was talking about, in the reading, she was talking about, go ahead and listen, but then go inside and listen to your intuition and listen to the divinity that is you, because we are all experts in our own lives. Another way that we can tune ourselves up is just by our words and the way that we use our words. For example, something that I hear a lot, I have to go to the store. Do you really have to, or do you get to? How many people around the world would love to be able to go to a store and grab whatever they want? We don't have to do anything. That feels almost like a victim. Yet when we get to do something, that feels empowering. So just these slight tweaks in our tune-up, these little things can add up in our lives, right? If something feels disempowering, why would we do that? If we're afraid of failure, why don't we embrace it? Why don't we see how many times we can fail? Because we learn a lot from it. We learn a lot from it. There's a story about a CEO, and I don't recall her name, but as she was growing up, when they sat at the dinner table, the father would ask them every day, what did you fail at? What did you learn? Think about if that was our perspective on failure versus being afraid of it. As I get ready to close, I'd just like for us to think about what aspects of our individual lives deserve the biggest tune-up. And these are individual things, right? It's not everyone needs the same tune-up. But for ourselves in our life right now, what are those things that are most important for us to pay attention to? Our currency is our time, right? It's just like money. We spend money, we spend our time. We pay for something, we pay attention. And so with our time, that is our life, that is our currency. So are we teachable? Are we teachable? Some of you guys are like older than I am, and I'm old. You guys must know everything. Wait, none of us have this life figured out yet? We're still trying to figure it out? Yeah, and that's cool. Because there's opportunity to learn. Are we teachable? Are we humble? Sometimes we need help. I could not do a tune-up on my car to save my life. And I'm okay with that. And I have mentors in my life. I have people that I look up to because they have been down that road a little further than I have. And I'm grateful for them. Are we letting go of the old that doesn't serve? There's plenty. So as a minimalist, I've practiced this for a long time. And essentialism is one of the things that I talk about in my book and my coaching. And there is so much that we actually can let go of if we choose. And it actually makes our life richer. We don't need more. The letting go is what actually can enrich our lives. Another secret that I've learned is that whatever we want, if we choose to give that, we create a space for that to come into our lives. If we want love, we get to give love. If we want abundance, we get to give away abundance. If we want hugs, we get to give hugs. We look awkward just hugging the air or ourselves, right? It's all relationship, it's all partnership. And it's the same flow that the universe honors and admires is whatever we choose to have, we choose to give. So I would like to close today with a meditation, just a short meditation, and have us close our eyes and just think for a moment, what are those things that we get to tune up in our lives? What are those things that we get to let go of to live freer, and happier and more peaceful. Maybe it's connection with family or friends. Maybe it's our diet or exercise. Maybe we can tune up our gratitude. Our higher selves, our divine self, knows what this is. So just listen. And if you choose, make a decision, make a commitment to just make a small change, a small tune-up in your life. And as we close, I recognize the divinity in you as I recognize the divinity in myself. I honor the guidance that you receive and the freedom that you have as I honor my own. May we all walk the path that raises our vibration, so we raise the vibration of the planet in love and light and peace and joy, as together we say, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I give. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
It's now time for our spiritual practice of conscious giving. We do this mindfully, celebrating our abundant blessings that come to us as the infinite flow of life itself. With deep gratitude, we participate in the circulation and giving and receiving life, joyfully sharing this prosperity with our beloved spiritual community. For those able to contribute, know that we deeply appreciate your financial support. You may continue to give via automatic withdrawal, text to give, or simply donate at our website or as the basket comes around. I invite you, those of you here and at home, to bring your gift to mind and heart. Deeply feel the truth of your word as together we speak our giving affirmation. as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Filled with gratitude, I let this be, and so it is. Thank you.
Let's hear some more from the amazing Mindy Dillard.
All right, so I was thinking during Randy's talk, it's Randy, right? Oh, good. I was thinking about tuning up things in our life and making changes, and about how that can be really difficult, because I don't know about you all, but sometimes I get to a place where I'm like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to be, but then everything changes and I'm like, oh wait, not quite. There's more for me there. And so it's a challenging thing about life is realizing that you need to expand or grow or change, and change little things, or maybe change big things sometimes too. This is an old song of mine. It's called The Mission Statement, but I've written some new lyrics for it today. I'm gonna open my voice up wide. I am afraid, but I still must try. I won't let fear keep me from here. I won't let fear make me disappear. I'm gonna sing from the depths of my heart. I will sing stories from near and from far. I won't let fear keep me from here. I won't let fear make me disappear. I'm gonna sing out my passion and pain, because I know that is why I came. I won't let fear keep me from here. I won't let fear make me disappear. The world may be big and maybe I'll fail. I'll forgive the world and open my sails. I've been to the edge and I've jumped off the cliff, and I know it doesn't get better than this. I'm gonna open my heart and let go, though I can still touch the world I've known. I won't let fear keep me from here. I won't let fear make me disappear. I'm gonna open my eyes and expand to include what I didn't plan. I won't let fear keep me from here. I won't let fear make me disappear. I'm gonna open my voice up wide. I will take all of the dark and the light. I won't let fear keep me
me from here. I won't let fear make me disappear. I won't let fear make me disappear. I won't let fear make me disappear. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Mindy. Thanks for sharing. Randy, great talk. That was just awesome. I have a warning light on my car, and I'm wondering if there's a message in there somewhere. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming. Remember, if it's not on your calendar yet, make sure August 28th, Saturday, is on your calendar to have a birthday party. Murray Park, the pavilion, will share memories and a wonderful presentation, and just be together and celebrate what has been and what's to come. Yeah. So, I want us to sing this closing song together. This is whimsical. Eric Idle on a Monty Python genius wrote this song. Some things in life seem bad and sometimes make you mad. Some people seem to try to be a pest. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this will help things turn out for the best. Always look on the bright side of life. Everybody. Always look on the bright side of life. If life seems kind of rotten, maybe something we've forgotten, and that's to smile and laugh and dance and sing. When you're feeling blue, start looking for a clue, then purse your lips and whistle. That's the thing. Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. Yeah, life can seem absurd, but it's not just for the birds. We can have some fun, I think we just forgot. We're here a little while. Chin up, give a smile. Enjoy it, it's the only life you've got. Always look on the bright side of life. 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 Have a blessed week, everybody.